Hi everyone, welcome you all to the 10th session and the final day of YouCon 2.0, Sri Lanka's biggest virtual conference on YouTubing and content creation, organized by AIESEC in University of Sri Jayawardhanapura, collaborating with AIESEC in Chennai. This conference is aimed at creating a knowledge sharing platform for both local and international YouTubers and to gain new perspective to create desirable content in YouTube. So let me start off by asking, are you that person who always aspired to make your own YouTube channel? Or are you that passionate YouTuber who wants to make your hobby a steady job? No matter who you are, your wait is finally over. The moment has come to reveal the mystery you always hunted for: how to make money through YouTube. But before we settle ourselves with today's discussion, let's have a look at the event partners of YouCon 2.0 who contributed immensely to make this event a success.
Hi guys, I'm Shweta from Nakshatra Weddings. I hope you're safe at home and doing really well. Well, today I'm going to talk about a challenge that is brought by Nakshatra Weddings called World's First VJ Challenge. So, guys, this challenge is open to all. Even if this is your first YouTube video, you can still participate. And the best part is, you can participate from any country you belong to. So, all you have to do in this challenge is make a video related to weddings. And the video that will get the most likes will win a prize of 25,000. And we also have some consolidation prizes. The video can be of any genre, that we will leave it up to you. But please remember that the video should contain a mention of Nakshatra Weddings and also should encourage the audience to subscribe our channel. Guys, there's one more good thing, and that is you can send as many videos as you want. There is no limitation in the number of videos that you can send us. Now, for the duration of the video, it should be at least 6 minutes. And if you're making it in any other language apart from Hindi, Tamil, and English, then you have to send us the subtitles of the video that we can upload along with the video. Guys, also, you have to send us the thumbnail, keywords, description, and other details in a Google document so that we can add it while uploading the video. The video should not be uploaded on any other social media sites till 31st August, and also once the video is sent to us it becomes our property and only Nakshatra Weddings will have all the rights to play the video. Now for the main part. The video should not contain any vulgar or sarcastic comments and should not offend any public figure or any other person in general. And most importantly, it should not have any copyright content. We have a jury that will be making the decision of which video should be rewarded. And if you have any doubts, my number's on the screen. You can give me a call for any kind of clarification. The submissions are starting from 8 July and will be there till 31st July. And the results will be announced on 15th of August 2020. So this is a great chance for all the YouTubers and influencers out there to show your talent and win a big prize. You can send this video directly to me through this email ID, and my number is on the screen as well. If you have missed anything or have any doubts, then this video is also available on our YouTube channel. So you can go to our YouTube channel Nakshatra Weddings and see the video, and please also subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you soon with all your videos. Bye guys.
All right. So joining with me today is an eminent panel of speakers who have become a spotlight in the professions that they are pursuing today. Mr. Rahul Bhatnagar, Mr. Dave Farina, Mr. Rohan Chaubey, and Mr. Sajeewa Dissanayake. So, my dear viewers, are you ready? I'm ready. Then, without further ado, let's set our minds to listen to a noteworthy discussion. Let's welcome the first two panelists of today's session: an entrepreneur, a public speaker, and the co-founder and the director of Compute Tech Private Limited, Mr. Rahul Bhatnagar; Mr. Dave Farina, a tutor, a science communicator who is also known as Professor Dave Explains. I warmly welcome you to this great session with an interesting topic: how to make money through YouTube. So, hi Rahul, hi Dave, how is life?
Very good.
Great. So let me move on with the first question, and this is to Mr. Rahul. So, what are your thoughts on making money through digital media?
Okay, so you're talking about digital media or only on YouTube? On digital media?
Digital media as a whole.
Okay, so you know what I have noticed in my journey is that there are a lot of influencers, and all those influencers are only based upon product endorsements or let's say Google AdSense to make money. Whereas how I use my social media is it's all about providing value to people. Once you're providing a lot of value to people, people will automatically start following you, following your content, and then you can monetize it. I'll give you an example over here. I call it the customer value journey. For example, a person today is at level A. This is known as level A. This is the beginning part of his journey, his or her journey. And they want to get up to level C. That is the kind of results that they want to achieve in their life. Probably they want to lose weight, or they want to become good speakers, or they want to learn how to take care of social media. So what you got to do is you got to provide people with knowledge and information free of cost so that they can move from point A to point B. And once you have taken them to point B, automatically your credibility is ensured, more authorities develop, you have given them a lot of value, then you can provide them with paid offerings. Probably they can become a part of your mentoring programs, your coaching sessions, your online sessions, platforms like this where we are talking today. And that is how you monetize your social media. So that you are not just creating followers, you're also creating an impact and bringing about an amazing change in the lives of people. And that is the reason why like I have about 1.2 million followers combined on all the social media platforms, but the revenue that we generate is much more than a lot of people. And that is because we add value and then people are provided the opportunity to become a part of our programs. And that is exactly how people should use social media for themselves. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rahul, for that very detailed explanation. So let me move on to Mr. Dave. So my question to you is, what made you become an educator and what eventually led you to YouTube?
I studied chemistry in college as an undergrad, and in my 20s, I actually was primarily focusing on music, but found that I was able to make a living through teaching. So I would sometimes tutor, sometimes teach. I had a job teaching organic chemistry at a trade university for a few years. So I found that was the best way for me to make a living. But then I transitioned to YouTube because I was interested in generating passive income. And I had sort of figured out that people had begun uploading lectures on YouTube. And so I uploaded some organic chemistry lectures, basically just precisely what I was delivering to my class. I just put on YouTube, and I was actually pretty shocked at how well they were received. And so I started to make more content. And then the more I started to look at existing channels, I realized two things. I realized, number one, how much potential for income there was, because I was looking at some of the larger channels, and I would go on socialblade.com and see exactly what they were making, and I was just blown away at the revenue that they were incurring. And then number two, I sort of was able to notice the gaps in what was available on YouTube. I noticed that there was a lot of kind of Blackboard style learning, and then a lot of sort of high production value edutainment, and I noticed a chasm in the middle. And I just thought, well, maybe if I can get in the middle there, I can provide sort of a new style of content. And I really like YouTube. The thing that's really great about YouTube, that's unlike any other profession, is that there's not really like a cap of what kind of income you can expect. If you take more of a traditional profession, there's sort of a cap of what you can expect to earn. Whereas with something like YouTube, there really isn't. If you just, the more you work at it, the more your income can rise, and it's just, it's really limitless. So it's been fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think that it proves the success you get by following your own passion and doing what you love.
Yeah.
And I would like to direct the next question to Rahul. So what would you say if I asked you about the foundation to your career, and how did you start your journey, and what use do you make out of YouTube as a platform?
I guess you'll have to repeat your question. There was some disturbance at your end. Can you kindly do that, please?
Yes, sir. Yeah, sure. The question is, what would you say if I asked you about your foundation into your career, and how did you start your journey, and what use do you make out of YouTube as a platform?
All right. If you talk about my journey, we started with our entrepreneurial journey about 9 years ago, and we were making discount cards at that particular point of time. So I was in my hometown. We used to travel from one house to the other house, from one office to the other office, from one event to the other event, and we were making physical discount cards. Now, we did not have any mentor to guide us or to tell us how to go about things. So that was something that we were doing. Though we were getting some eyeballs, we were creating some visibility for us, but the revenue never came. And the reason was, number one, that was something that could not have been scaled. Number two, we were only based upon physical interactions with people. And therefore, it is something whether you're not even making money. And if you talk about the scaling, it would take a lot of time. Then gradually, I shifted my content online. I was doing a lot of sessions, public speaking sessions at corporates, at universities. But the thing is that I was not able to create the kind of impact that I wanted to create because the audience was quite limited. Then I was introduced to my social media platforms. And it's not just about how you use your social media platforms. Like Dave would also agree to that. There's a bigger picture behind that. You get viewers, you get people to watch your content. That is all right. You need to have a particular funnel over there. And what do I mean by a funnel is people come, they watch your content. Some of them subscribe to your emailing lists. Because one more thing that I would like to add over here is over dependency on any social media platform can be really harmful. Like in India, you must be aware TikTok has been banned. Now, I had 1,500 videos on TikTok, but nation is always first. So we had to do it. So over relying on one platform is also bad. So what I would recommend people to do is provide content on social media, have, let's say, a Google form or an emailing platform wherein you can take the leads from people, keep on adding value to them. And once you do something over and over again, you get more results. For example, I do a lot of webinars. And in the past 2 years, I've done close to 400 odd webinars, which automatically shows once you are doing webinars or anything on a regular basis, number one, you get credibility. Number two, more people get to know about you. And number three is you tend to become better with every session that you do. Like this has been my workplace for the past more than 2 years, and I love doing that. So the key message to people is focus on that one thing, continue working on that one thing. Don't rely on just one single platform, but build your own audience. Let's say a texting platform or an emailing platform, so that you are not dependent upon social media platforms. They are good, but over relying on them can be really harmful in the future.
Thank you so much for providing that valuable insight. So I'm moving back with Dave with a fundamental question. So what are your top strategies when it comes to the topic of making money through YouTube?
So I'm a little bit of a different case. I think that a lot of people really focus heavily on looking for trending topics and focusing on the metadata and really coming at it from that angle. And I think that that's all very good advice and applicable to a lot of people. However, for me, I definitely didn't do that. I went a completely different strategy, and it took a lot longer to become successful, but in the end, it's a lot more reliable success. So as I was saying a bit earlier, all I did was I understand that there's definitely a global need to understand educational topics, and there's a global need for curriculum aligned tutorial content. And once again, when I started the channel in 2015, I saw two styles. There was the Blackboard learning and there was the edutainment. So I knew that people were watching things like Khan Academy to do better in class. But I also realized that there was a lot of certain channels were very popular because of how entertaining they were. So I just thought I found sort of a niche that hadn't been filled yet in terms of making curriculum aligned content that was a little more palatable to watch, a little more fun to watch. And so I think that it's just about identifying something that you can do that just hasn't quite been done yet. It doesn't have to be revolutionary, but stylistically, what I did when I started the channel was just a little bit different than really the other channels. And I think that that was appreciated by a lot of students that were trying to do well in their classes, that just they didn't want to watch a 45-minute video. They wanted to watch a 6-minute video, and have it be nice to watch. So it's just about finding something that has utility that people want. And then I agree with what Rahul said earlier about it being very important that all the content is free, because once you get noticed and once you gather a following, that you can monetize that in other ways. So there is AdSense revenue, and that is most of my income is AdSense revenue. But I'm starting to move into public speaking, and I wrote a book and stuff, and none of those things would happen without the visibility that YouTube brings. So it's definitely key.
Okay, thank you so much for giving such a gainful answer, I think. And these learnings will be really great for all the YouTubers who is seeking the best and successful ways of earning money through YouTube. So now here I am with an open question to both of you. So as we know, everything has its own positives and negatives. So what are the shortcomings you see making money through social media today? And what are your advices to overcome them?
All right. So the first thing is that people tend to be really impatient when it comes to earning money on social media. A lot of people are like, okay, now Dave is doing something, Rahul is doing something, I'll go replicate it today, and from tomorrow I'll have those dollars flowing in. But that is not how it works. It requires a lot of effort. Like, we go to our school, then we go to colleges, then we take higher education, and after that we get a decent enough job, right? But what happens on social media is people tend to become really impatient. That is not how it works. It is also a process. It needs to be consistent. Your information that you're providing to people, it has to be congruent so that it makes sense to people. You have to have a particular niche so that if you are connected with that niche, people would know, okay, this is the kind of content that I would get from this particular individual. That's very important. And the second thing is, see, the social media platforms can change their algorithm any day. The reach can go down, the reach can go up. For example, if you talk about Instagram, recently Instagram is pushing the IGTV videos even more because they want longer videos on their platform. So we need to be trendy enough to catch, okay, this is something that is going to work today. Any new updations that any social media platform does, we need to take in and we need to implement it right then and there. That is how it helps us. One more thing is here. We also have a question from Aparajita. Should I take that question? How do I target our audience to generate income?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Okay. So this is also one more thing that I learned over a period of time. Initially, I was targeting a lot of students, but then I realized the problem with students was that they were not the decision makers. When you are looking to sell anything to anybody, there are two things that you need to take care of. One, the buyer should have an inclination to buy your product or your service or your offering. And number two, they should also have the pocket so that they are ready to pay for your product or service. So then I realized that I need to choose my customer avatar. I chose people who were above the age of 25 to 45 years. And then those became my target segment. I started running ads for them. I started creating content for them because I realized that those are the ones who would be ready to also pay once they understand the value of my product. Unlike students, the problem with a lot of students is We have money for almost everything. But when it comes to investing on our own selves, we're like, nah, we'll do that later. All right. So I changed that. And we started working with working professionals. And that is how the complete dynamics change. So we also need to figure out who's going to be our perfect customer avatar. And then you reach out to them accordingly. That's the key.
So fantastic. So Dave, like, do you have anything to add into that?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm very limited in that I focus almost entirely on YouTube. I play with the other media, but it's really YouTube that I focus on. But with YouTube, it's interesting because the pro and the con is the same thing. It's the algorithm, the mystical algorithm. So when the algorithm favors you, everything works out, and when it doesn't, your content gets kind of buried. But the good news is that if you roll the dice enough times, eventually something works out. So speaking to targeting the audience, as we were discussing earlier, I kind of don't think that way. I just sort of think like, let's say I'm going to be developing calculus content. So I have a playlist of 35 tutorials on calculus. And so I just think, all right, if I was learning calculus, how do I want this material broken down? The simplest it can possibly be, with the explanations and the visual, aspect, everything synthesizing to just produce flawless, transference of comprehension. Then what happens is, out of those 35, I'd say 2 of them just really ping with the algorithm. And so I have 2 calculus tutorials that just like do really well out of the 35, but then those bring people to the channel and then they see what else I have. So really, and again, as Rahul was saying, I mean, I can't identify more. It's true. Like, you have to be patient. I started the channel in 2015 and it's only become truly profitable, like in a way where I'm paying my rent and bills from YouTube as of about 6 months ago. So it takes a long time, but it's very reliable, because now my income is almost certainly not going to go lower than it is. It's only going to continue to climb as I put out more content. So it's a huge time investment, but if you're industrious and you work hard enough and you look at everything, you look at the new trends that are coming out, and you really are thorough with it, it is definitely possible to do really well with it. So
great. So I'm going to direct the next question as well to Dave. So since you are working so much, how are you supporting yourself with YouTube? Like, how would you say your income compares to that of a high school teacher?
Oh, luckily by now it definitely exceeds that of a high school teacher. At first, I mean, the first year I was making pennies a day. The second year I made a couple dollars a day, and then the third year I made $20 a day, and then the fourth year I made $60 a day. So it starts to climb, but because the content is evergreen, the everything accumulates. You know what I mean? So it just keeps going up because people continue to watch my old content with as much frequency as they watch my new content, if not more, because it does better in the algorithm. So yes, I finally am at a point where it exceeds what any teacher is making. But I'm also a bit unique in that I make it's probably 95% AdSense revenue. So I really make almost everything from just YouTube ad revenue. A lot of people are making a lot of money with other features, such as memberships, which is basically YouTube's attempt to phase out Patreon, because Patreon is doing well. So YouTube has incorporated memberships. A lot of people do live chats and they get super chats during their live chats. So it really depends on what your audience is. If you're really engaging with your audience and they really want to talk to you live, that's a great source of income. My followers, not so much. They just want to study for their chemistry test. And so, but luckily a lot of students watch the content, so the views rack up. But everybody can make their money their own way. YouTube has been really good about offering, now there's merchandise, and I don't sell very much merchandise either, but just there's a lot of ways to do it. And you just find what's right for you.
Right.
Okay, thank you. So with that being said, now it's a time for our lovely viewers to present their questions to our panelists and to get your doubts cleared. I know that you all were eagerly waiting till this moment. So the bell is ringing and this is your time. Okay, I can say I have a first question from the audience to Mr. Rahul. So the question is, how do you target your audience to generate income?
Okay, we've already answered this one, that we make a perfect customer avatar and then we reach out to them.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a new question, I believe, right?
Yeah. Wait. Yes, we have a new question. So says you spoke about how we need to keep ourselves updated with the changes that occur in social media and make content focusing on it as well. So how do we get to know about it?
Any new change that a platform does, go start implementing it right away. I'll give you an example. Why do you think Instagram included IGTV? Because they realized that when a video is longer than 1 minute, those videos are going on YouTube, those videos are going on Facebook, but those videos are not being posted on Instagram because Instagram was not allowing us to post videos that were longer than 1 minute. And that is why they introduced IGTV. So when they introduce something new, obviously they're going to push it across to people so that the new creators start implementing that and start using that feature. For example, WhatsApp included stories, Instagram included stories. For that matter, even YouTube included stories. So whenever there's a new update that comes in any platform, you need to start making the most out of it right then and there, because the platform is going to promote that new feature that they have added. Otherwise, why will they add that new feature? The problem with a lot of creators is that we tend to take some time, watch what other people are doing, and then start implementing that for our work. That should not be the case. If you have realized, okay, Instagram has rolled out some new feature, go and start working on it right then and there. And even now, if you would see, the views that I get on my Instagram are approximately 25% of the total people who are following me, which is a huge number, because organically you don't get that kind of views on any platform. So that's very important. Whenever a new feature is rolled out, start making the most of it and start realizing, okay, how do I monetize this for myself? So I realize now I have an opportunity to connect with people over a longer video using Instagram. So I will get my lead using IGTV videos. Similarly, when they launch the live feature wherein you can take someone else live with you while you're going live on Instagram, we started implementing it and using it right then and there. So whenever a new updation happens on any social media platform, start implementing it and start using that feature, because that platform is going to promote it at least for the next few weeks or maybe months.
Okay, thank you. So the next question is directed to Dave. So videos where we talk a lot to tend to become monotonous. How do you try to overcome this issue in your videos? And how do you make your videos more engaging?
Yeah, so I try to do two things. Number one, I really do try to be as succinct and concise and efficient as possible. So I don't want to lose any of the meat of it. All of the important learning objectives have to get across, but I really try to cut out all the fluff and give it to you in as short a package as possible. Now, the more important point is a ramification of the first one. If you have good word economy and if you are very clear, then what ends up happening is you are delivering comprehension more efficiently. And when viewers are understanding, when students are understanding educational content, they are engaged. It doesn't that's what edutainment doesn't quite understand, is you don't need a lot of fluff. You don't need explosions and you don't need silly jokes and you don't really need all that stuff. You can do it and that's very entertaining and some people really like that content. But if you're struggling in a course and you're trying to pass your exams and all these things, you want to understand it as clearly and as quickly as possible. And if that is being delivered in the content, the viewer is engaged. You know what I mean? So that's my guiding light in all of my content. Is just fewest words spoken, fewest words on screen, clarity. Just that's what I want to deliver to the viewer. So.
Thank you for that valuable insight. So the next question is to Rahul from our audience. How do we improve an education channel on YouTube? Because education channels grow in slowly on YouTube.
See, it will grow slowly. There's no doubt about it. If you do a comparison between education and entertainment, anyone would prefer entertainment. But what you need to understand is, what are you focusing upon? Are you focusing upon having 1 million followers, or are you focusing upon creating an impact? That's extremely important. What I focus upon is how many lives are being empowered because of my content. How much value am I able to provide to my audience? That is what I focus upon. Otherwise, they would also agree to it. It's very easy to get views. Make a video on any political happening, make a video on any social media celebrity, something that happened in their life. make a video on something happening, and people would start watching that content. But that would not give me or the other people the kind of satisfaction that you get once you get a message from somebody that, Rahul, because of your content, I was able to earn more money. I have a more stable relationship with my wife. Although I'm not yet married, but yes, we do give advice on mental health and things. So that is what pushes me even more. So it's quite obvious that the educational channels would comparatively be slow. However, you would be able to generate more revenue using an educational channel. That's number one. And the second thing is you would also be able to create a greater impact. And the third thing that you can do over here is increase the frequency of your videos, because you would never get to know which is the video which is going to go live or which is going to go viral. You have to put in videos on a regular basis. Most of my videos that have been viewed by a lot of people are simple videos that we recorded from our phone. And the ones that have been edited with all the music and stuff, nobody watched those videos. So you would never get to know what is going to connect with people. You got to put in content in front of people regularly. Some would work, some won't. But then that is how life is, right? Some days are good, some days not so good. We continue putting in the content, just like we continue living the life. That is how it works. Believe in your educational content and create content for the long term perspective. If you're just creating content for today, then you will, in the longer run, not be benefited, not be able to monetize it. If your content is relevant today, it should be such that it is relevant even 5 years from now. That is the kind of content that you need to create. And in the longer run, you're definitely going to win. Even if it is slow and steady is what is going to get you the revenue as well as the results.
Thank you. I think right now there are so many questions blowing in from my audience. And the next question is to Dave. So how do you innovate to create videos that does not bore people in subjects like maths, where generally students are most afraid of as compared to other subjects?
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to what I was saying previously. Again, it's just about delivering that comprehension. I think math, in particular, people are very apprehensive about math, but it's just like any other subject. Like I deal with this in organic chemistry a lot too. People are very they're afraid of the subject, and that affects the way that they approach the learning process. But if you can get under their radar and deliver that comprehension, then they become more engaged. So with math, I mean, again, I just want to show every step with clarity and use visual aids where possible. So if I'm doing calculus and it's about calculating the volume of a solid of revolution, I want to show that piece and I want to have it spin around the axis so you can see what I see in my head, right? It doesn't have to remain abstract. I can show you concretely what it's doing. So working on your visuals, working on, how things are displayed, streamlining everything. It really does all come down to comprehension. If the comprehension is being delivered, people are engaged. That's all there is to it.
Okay, so the next question is open to both of you. How does the YouTube Partner Program works? And how can someone join the YouTube Partner Program? Do you have any idea about that?
Yeah, I do. So I don't know how to answer it very well because it's very mystifying to everybody. First of all, there's really not that much you can do because they reach out to you. And so I had a partner a couple of years ago when I had only about 200,000 subscribers, and then he quit, and then they did not provide me with another one. And so I was without a partner for a long time until, honestly, about a month ago. They reached out and said, "Hey, we got you a new partner." It's like, great, thank you, because I really need one. So unfortunately, I'm not really sure how to answer it. It just, I mean, obviously, the larger your channel is, the greater the probability. But you really just fill something out, and then I don't know. They tell you when you get one. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So this question is directed to Rahul from one of our viewers. So the content of your YouTube channel hugely matters when attracting VIPs. So what are your advices on making a creative content?
I would like to answer the earlier question. When you talk about the YouTube Partner Program, I got one after I had 100,000 subscribers. So then I got introduced to the Partner Program, and now we have got direct access to one individual. I can't talk to them over phone, but yes, they are always available for a chat. So that is how I got one. Okay. The second thing is, if you talk about creativity, what I tend to do is I tend to provide with two kind of videos. One, which have not been edited at all. It's just like I'm talking directly with people. It's a normal interaction between me and the audience. So what happens with that is people realize that, okay, there's a bond between the speaker and the audience, because a lot of editing and all that stuff has not been done. And the second thing that we tend to do is I ask a lot of questions during my videos so that we can get more comments. You get more comments, the algorithm understands that people are liking this video, and automatically it is shown to more people. The second thing is you got to have a title that is appealing, and that also has to be reflected in your thumbnail. For example, many a times I have had titles which were like really enticing. Earning money is as easy as breathing. Somebody suggested that to me. I'm like, are you sure I should do that? But then when I made that video, what I tend to do is I justify everything. I tell people that you got to work for 5 years, 6 years, then get this positioning, then create this authority, and then earning money would become so very easy for you. So what you got to do is whatever title of your video is, that has to be there in the first few lines. The thumbnail has to be really attractive. Ask a lot of questions to people so that they can answer through comments in your videos, so that they can get a greater engagement. And have both the videos, one when you're directly interacting with people, and the second video is wherein you have done a lot of editing. You never will get to know which kind of video is going to attract to which people. One more thing is here, just to get views, don't use a title that might get you some subscribers, but in the longer run, you might not be able to serve them. For example, you make a political video, you might get people to watch it, you might get those people to subscribe to your channel. But if your upcoming videos are not related to politics, then they will not continue watching your content. So, therefore, the content has to be specific to a niche. Once it is specific to a niche, all the things, whether it is revenue, whether it is an impact, all those things would follow.
Thank you so much for that detailed answer. And I think we have a question today from Pragya. Do you plan to create your online courses on maths and chemistry, as now you have a significant viewership?
So I mean, I do have quite a bit of chemistry and math content. I have about 200 tutorials on chemistry and about 160 in math. I'll keep expanding them. I do plan with math. It was interesting when I decided to do math. I thought, okay, I'm going to start with elementary school arithmetic and then go as far as I can go. So I got through linear algebra, and now, moving into differential equations, I need some help. So I'm looking for a writer, because I never got quite that far in math. So, but yeah, that's the thing. You can expand at any time. So even though chemistry is the first content I ever made, I can do new chemistry content now if I want. I can do new math content now, while I also try completely new subjects. So you can do anything you want. It's great.
Thank you so much. And with that, we have come to the end of this wonderful discussion. And I want to express my sincere thanks and appreciation to both of you for sharing comprehensive knowledge and expertise to give our viewers the best half an hour of time. So what is the final message you have to give to our audience? Starting
I would also take this question that's very important from Aprajita, and I'll wrap it up very quickly. She says,
Sure.
I make music covers, but then there's the issue of copywriting. Aprajita, that will continue. Even if you recreate the music, that is how the copywriting rules work. Your videos might be taken down. So what I would recommend to you is, if you really want to do that, probably take prior permission from the people who have created that, get in touch with them. Or I know that's really tough, but you need to create your own music, because that is how the copywriting rules work. They are beyond what we can do. They are beyond the way we can help you there. Okay. And my one message to people is, be consistent, find your niche. Finding your niche is very important. A niche that you can monetize, and that niche that can work for a longer period of time, and keep posting content. Don't look at the number of viewers or the number of subscribers. They are just numbers. The impact is more important. If you're creating the impact, the money would follow. Money is a byproduct of adding value. Add more value, and the money would automatically come your way. Thank you so much.
Dave, what's your final message to all our viewers?
Yeah, I agree with everything Rahul said, and then it comes down to putting in the time. So the reason my channel is where it is because in 2016 I decided to start taking it really seriously, and I just worked 70 hours a week on the channel, 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day, sitting there churning out the content so I could release 5 videos per week, doing all the writing, shooting everything, doing all the post-production. You just got to do it. And if you need to learn a new program, some new software, then you got to do it. If you got to learn a new topic, you got to do it. You have to do all this stuff yourself. And if you really put in that time, you're going to learn a lot of things along the way and you'll be successful.
Absolutely. And once again, thank you so much for joining with us today. And I wish both of you nothing but the best in life. So have a great day.
Thank you. And you were an amazing moderator. We really loved your interacting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Yeah, thank you.
Now it's a time to welcome another well-renowned personality to talk about social media growth hacking. And he's none other than the best-selling author of the growth hacking book, the most followed growth hacker, and the founder of Growth Media. Please welcome Mr. Rohan Chaubey. Hello, Rohan. So how's life treating you?
Very well. Thank you for the kind introduction.
Fantastic. So let's quickly move on to the discussion. So when we talk about growth hacking, it's a new concept related to marketing, and many do not have a precise idea about that. So what is exactly growth hacking?
So I'm keeping it very simple out of all the technicalities, just so that all of our audiences can understand.
Great.
So growth hacking in simple terms is finding the best way possible to grow on a particular channel, or growing your subscribers, followers, customers, or users using least amount of resources. Resources could be the people working with you, the money you're spending on growth, and overall anything that is required to fuel growth of an organization, or you as a personal brand, as a YouTuber or a social media influencer. And then finding unconventional ways to grow. So let's say, for example, if everyone is doing one thing, what is something unique and different that you can figure out in a specific channel to grow faster? So adopting the less exploited strategies, adopting something that is not overly explored yet, and you find new ways to grow faster.
Okay, thank you so much for that very clear answer. So the next question to you is, what is exactly the difference between growth hacking and digital marketing? I know that you have done a very detailed explanation about this on your YouTube channel, but can you answer this question on behalf of our lovely viewers who have missed it by any chance?
Sure. So I think the biggest difference between digital marketing and growth hacking would be that so when you speak to digital marketers, when you work with digital marketers, they have a very niche expertise in the marketing stuff that they do. With growth hackers, for us, it's more of experimentation. So let's say how doctors are practicing, not really working. So when you say that when you become a doctor, you don't say that you are working as a doctor. You say, I'm practicing. Same is the case with growth hackers, that we don't really growth hackers do not have solutions to everything. We experiment and find what could be the best possible solution to fuel or foster growth. So the difference is that we are not religious about a particular platform, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or anything. We are platform agnostic. That means that we are not an expert in particular platform. We love to explore everything and anything as far as it's on digital platform. So no matter what platform you are on, no matter what other new channels and or digital mediums we explore, we will figure out a way to grow faster there. So that's the whole point of the difference between digital marketers and growth hackers. And of course, there are a few other points like digital marketers operate at the top level of the funnel, growth hackers operate at all the levels of the funnel, and then digital marketers are growth hackers are more focused on you know data centric campaigns and not really driven by instincts. But like I mentioned, the biggest difference that I see is this, that just growth hackers are platform agnostic. You give them a platform, they will figure out how what is the best way to hack growth there.
Okay, that is indeed a great explanation. And my next question is, what are the best SEO grow hacks that you suggest to grow a YouTube channel?
I think the best one I've found so far is keeping things very, very simple. So you write titles that the video is about. You make thumbnails that clearly demonstrate what the video is about. Write a description, put hashtags, put your maybe name at the last, point back to your other channels, and maybe of course some other playlists that you may have, some related videos that you may have. So treating your description of a YouTube channel as if it was a blog post wouldn't harm. So you could actually treat it as a short blog post where you write about the video, you point to other recommended videos or playlists, then you write about yourself, what the channel is about, what they can expect out of it. So this pretty much covers all the keywords you would want to target. So when you write the description about a particular video, you're covering the keywords related to that topic. But then when you write about yourself, you are making yourself discoverable. And the third is when you write about your channel, so it integrates all the keywords related to your channel. And then of course in the title you're going to put the primary keyword, and then you're going to also search for secondary keywords to put hashtags or in the description. So I think that's the keeping things simple is the best thing. And now that they have also you can put timestamps on your video and clearly say your audience that at this point in time I'm talking about this topic or this subtopic. So that makes your audience more inclined towards watching it full or going to a specific timeline and then watching what they really want. Because the key to YouTube growth and making money out of YouTube is all about retention. So the more you're able to retain people's attention, the better it is. So it is in your best interest to come across as the most transparently sharing with the audience what the video is about without making it any clickbait or anything like that. For example, clickbait may give you a lot of clicks and everything, but then your retention will drop off once the audience realizes it's not what it claims to be. So it is in your best interest to authentically engage with your audience, and the best just share what you really have, no matter how simple your message would be.
Okay, thank you so much. And dear viewers, now it's your time to present your questions to Mr. Rohan. And I have the very first question. So that is, what are the qualifications or requirements to be a growth hacker?
There's no requirement as such. The beauty of growth hacking is that you don't really need a lot of things to get started. It's all about experimentation. So let's say if you want to start growth hacking or you want to become a growth hacker, you would first start by reading what other people have done, learn everything about growth hacking, be interested and inclined towards data and analytics, try to explore all digital channels, how they work, how their algorithms functions, the ins and outs of all the channels. A lot of people often ignore, there is something called developers documentation for every social media channel, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. So what happens in this developer documentation, they show you and share with you what are the the limitations of the platform, what exactly is possible, what is not. So when you read it over and over again, you realize that there are certain loopholes in every platform. Loopholes in the sense that what you can do and what you cannot do, what the platform appreciates and what the platform does not appreciate. So when you're able to read all those very deeply and experiment and analyze with the form of content that you're posting, that's when you get to know how these platforms really work. So with YouTube over time, let's say if you have been a YouTuber for a long time, you know that when you promote your new videos within, let's say 24 to 48 hours, and it gets good engagement and retention, the video is pushed further. So the more you experiment, and the more you experiment and actually do stuff and not just read about it, I think that's the best way to go forward with it. And of course, if if it is very overwhelming for you, or you have no clue what it is, it's better to work with a growth hacker who has been there and done that. So I think that's the three recommendations I would have: read as much as possible, work with someone who has been there and done that, and the third would be experiment as much as possible, so that you can gain first-hand knowledge.
Wow, that's a really gainful answer, and thank you so much for that. There's another question from my audience. What was your biggest challenge in trying growth hacking?
I think we just took this one, right? The
No,
challenge is
yeah,
go on. Sorry, the
yeah. So
challenge is go on.
it's fine. You continue.
So the challenge really is that, like I said, growth hackers are platform agnostic. They can actually be on any platform, and they will try to figure out. So channel is the challenge with every experiment that we do is, we can be sometimes new to a particular platform, but then when you realize all the key actions of the particular of a platform, you get to know what it is all about and how it works. When I say key actions are anything that sends notification to users. So let's say if we talk about Instagram, if I'm liking a post, I'm commenting on it, if I'm following you, I'm sending a message, those are all key actions. That means any action that sends you notification is a key action. For example, if I follow a particular hashtag on Instagram, it does not really send notification to anyone, so that is not a key action. So the first challenge is to find all of the key actions of a particular platform and try to do it on scale, of course in a quality way, to grow. Let's say for YouTube, if you are, let's say, a very small YouTuber who is just starting out, I would recommend you start performing key actions, like the first would be uploading in your own channel consistently. The second would be finding your tribe, like engaging with people who are the influencers of the industry. And a lot of time it happens that if someone is an influencer, they get an overwhelming amount of responses, and they're not able to really respond to all the audiences. So what you can do is you can actually go to their videos and try to genuinely help a few people who are asking questions or asking for some clarification. It might happen that because you responded to their followers, the influencer might notice you. And the second is, the audiences of the influencers will also start noticing you, because you're just being helpful, right? So initially, when you're really starting out and you're small, this is what you can do: identify the key actions, perform those key actions on scale. I think that's the best way to grow when you're just starting out.
Okay, so I think another question just flowed in from an audience viewer. The question is, what are the examples for some of the best free tools for growth marketers?
I think the best one I would say is Zapier. What Zapier does is it automates a lot of your repetitive tasks. So let's say, for example, if I create a new video for my client on their channel, and they want to spread the video on across multiple platforms, it can be social platforms, it could be forums, and so many other things. So you can actually make Zapier integrations that pushes the update on all the platform. So let's say if I have posted something on YouTube, I can tie it to some other platform or just record actions. Let's say if I'm trying to find, let's give an example. If I'm trying to find all the YouTubers or people who are using, let's say, hashtag YouTuber, content creator, or something, influencer. So hashtags like that, and I want to collect it from, let's say, Twitter. So there is a Zapier integration for that. The next one I would say is there is something called Phantom Buster. What Phantom Buster does is it is more of like a marketing API. It looks technical at first, but when you actually go there and see, it makes your life really easy. So let's say, for example, now I'm talking from a brand's point of view. So let's say if I'm a brand and I'm looking for YouTubers to work with, what I can simply do is I'll put the keywords to search for, let's say, what kind of influencers I want. and then it helps me scrape all the results of what potential channels I can target, and then it gives me the average number of views that the channel gets. So talking from the creator's point of view and brand's point of view, these are the two best ones that I would recommend. And of course, there are so many these days. The number of tools and things that we live in is just increasing at an exponential rate. For not really a growth hacking tool, but a really useful tool for me on YouTube has been vidIQ. I just use it for finding tags and writing descriptions and all of that. So I'm sure a lot of YouTubers would already know this and have been using it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think this is a huge opportunity for everyone who is like passionate about being a growth hacker in the future. Because right now we are getting so much of detailed answers from Mr. Rohan, and thank you so much. And there's another question from the audience. Is there any possible way to boost views of the videos uploaded to YouTube?
Of course. So you boost views. There are only two ways, right? The first is organically from YouTube. Maybe because your video was discoverable, you had SEO optimized your video. The second is that, of course, the recommendations come under that and the search discovery. The second method is you promoting it. So one is, the natural way of someone discovering your channel or video. The second is you promoting it. So as a YouTuber, it's really a full-time job for people who really want to make money out of or a living out of YouTube. You have to really promote it in all possible channels. If you want, maybe after this session, I'll just put a link in maybe in the Facebook comments. I actually have more than 100 digital channels where you can promote your videos. And my suggestion to you is, as soon as your video is launched, within 24 to 48 hours, go to these 100 channels that I'm suggesting, promote your videos, talk about, don't just spam your links that this is my new video, watch it. Give them a reason to watch it, right? Write descriptions that make you click and watch it. So let's say, for example, if so many of you might be watching series and videos on Netflix, look at the descriptions that they write. It is so enticing for you to want to read and click and watch the series further, right? So learn the art of that copywriting, just like how Netflix would do. Try to write those kind of descriptions so that people really get enticed to watch the video full.
Okay, thank you. So I have a question to you. That is, like, when I researched about growth hacking, I found this term called AA triple R funnel. So what is actually AA triple R?
Oh, okay. So AA triple R is, we call it the pirate funnel. It is called the growth hacking funnel. So it is actually like an acronym that stands for, so A stands for, the first A stands for acquisition, the second A stands for activation, the third is R, that stands for retention, the fourth is revenue, and the last one is referral. So just to give you a simple example, let's say if I was a user, like a normal internet user who landed on Facebook, and then when I landed on their website, I liked the sign up page, I sign up to the platform. So that means the traffic was converted to a user for Facebook. So that is called acquisition, the first stage. The second is activation. So activation again is, when I land on the site, they acquired me as a user. Activation is when I create my profile, fill the details, and now I'm on the second stage, that is activation. This third stage for, let's say, a platform like Facebook would be retention. And because Facebook gives me a reason to be retained on their platform, let's say, for example, when I post pictures, people are liking and commenting, that makes me feel nice. I want to post more content. Second could be my friends and family are there, so there is a reason to go back because I get to engage with them. The third is, there are communities on Facebook. So let's say, for example, I love connecting with YouTubers and there is this YouTube group. So there is a reason for me to go back to YouTube. So Facebook has given you so many reasons to go back to them, and that's why you are a retained user for such a long time. And the third is revenue. So there are only two ways for Facebook to make money. One is you as an advertiser, as a business, spending money on ads. The second is you as a user not paying anything to you, Facebook, but you're still a product for them. your data, your likes and dislikes and demographics, everything is sold to companies to advertise you. So in a way, you are, I mean, they are making money out of all any two of the possible ways. And the last one is referral. So because you like Facebook so much, maybe in the initial days of Facebook, you invite your friends, you invite your family, you tell them that this is a very cool platform to be in touch with with people you love and like, and this is where we can keep in touch, share our life updates, and be closely connected. So I think so you would end up inviting a lot of your friends and family also on the platform. So this is what happens at each stage, right? So same stages can be applied even to your YouTube journey, but then again, it's not very. It's actually meant for companies and tech products, but you can actually see and apply this in your own website or YouTube channel or product or service websites, where you map out the whole funnel, you map out the user journey, and then you plan strategies on each stages of the funnel, that what to do to acquire users, retain users, make money, generate revenue out of it, and how do you keep them on your platform, on your website, or on your videos for as long as possible.
Thank you so much, Rohan. Like, it's really interesting to see how you like explain all these technical stuff in a way that which could be understood by everyone. So thank you so much for that. So last but not least, I invite you to share your journey towards becoming an international best-selling author.
So actually, the book is advertised so much, and it became a bestseller in 9 countries. That's why I've completely lost my identity as a growth hacker and startup marketer, and I've started being called as a best-selling author instead. But actually, my full-time work is more to get towards startup marketing. I help companies with a lot of growth ideas and, of course, growth hacking. About being an author. So last year, since in India, so I was working with a lot of startups in New York, DC, and Bay Area, and I realized that. So I discovered this term actually while working with them, and I found it very interesting because the startups in India are not very sophisticated, and then I found the same in other countries also. So I wanted this concept to be promoted everywhere, and that's why we launched this book with 35 people from 9 countries, the growth hacking book. This year we have about 100 authors from 20 countries. So we are truly making the growth hacking book. So along with the book, we have this movement called Growth Set. We are making this movement go global for people to realize that there's so much more beyond digital marketing. And and growth hacking applies for everyone. It could be startups, it could be personal brands, and individual YouTubers like you and me, and influencers. So we really wanted to promote this idea and concept. So I thought that, okay, nothing better than a book, because a book is cheaper to buy, and it is something that people are not going to throw away. So let's say if you watch a video, let's say you're watching this event video right now, you may watch it, you may consume it, you may take notes and then leave. But when you buy a book, it actually stays on your shelf forever. You're not going to throw away a book. You're either going to give it to someone or you're going to keep it for yourself. So you will always have that remembrance of the concept. And that's what the mission was to so I could not find any other better way than writing a book to promote the movement.
Okay, so with that, we have come to the end of another very interesting, technically detailed discussion. And thank you very much, Mr. Rohan, for connecting with all of us today. And I think everyone, including myself, grabbed so much of knowledge and learnings with every aspect you touched in this discussion. So lastly, I want to wish you all the very best and good luck for all your future endeavors. And is there any final message you would like to share with the audience?
Sure. So one message, no matter if you're a YouTuber, freelancer, agency owner, employee, student, or anyone, the message remains same for all of us and applies to all of us. The first is learn from people who have been there and done that, who are experts in their field, who have made it big already. Then the second would be collaborate with people who are same as you, struggling with the same things as you. Work with them, partner, and work together. And the third is once you really become, like once you yourself become an expert, try to teach people who are just starting out. So that's how we create a digital ecosystem where all of us are there for each other and we grow together. Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Thank you so much. In a digitally connected world, a byte of data can boost or bite your brand. Social media security is an imperative factor which influences the future of your social media profile or your online brand. So please welcome Mr. Sajeewa Dissanayake, an artist and social media consultant, to carry on the last hour of this session on the topic social media security and best practices.
Hi.
Hi Sajeewa, how are you doing? How's life?
I'm doing good, but I was sick actually. Anyway, I have to do this, so I came here.
Thank you
Let's see
so
how
much.
it goes.
I appreciate. So simply, my first question to you is how to make
Yes,
money through YouTube? Like, what is the simplest answer you can give to our audience?
what we have to do is we have to make content that is engaging, and then only the viewers will come to you, and after that you will get money. But for that, you have to be monetizing on YouTube. I'll just explain this. The YouTube platform works like this. Let's say YouTube is a newspaper. Advertisers like us, let's say you want to put an advertisement on the newspaper, you pay them, and then the newspaper will publish it. Why you are paying the newspaper is people are reading it. So YouTubers get money for making content that makes people watch YouTube. So advertisers put ads on our videos, and then we'll get money from these advertisements. That's how it works. For that, you have to be in the YouTube partnership program. There are eligibility criteria. We'll discuss them later. So basically, you don't just come to YouTube to make money. You be a YouTuber first, then you will get money.
Yeah, wow, what an interesting start to this discussion, and thank you so much. Then again, I have a very interesting question to you. So just imagine there is a massive hack
Yeah,
going on YouTube. At a situation like that,
yeah.
how to be safe on YouTube and what are the measures we can take to protect our YouTube channel?
Okay. I know most of the Sri Lankans who are watching it here know that there have been a massive hack going on during the last 2 months. I was involved in recovering around 60 channels to my website. So what happened is it's not that these people, the YouTubers, have had good security on their channels. It's about not being aware of what's happening. Let's say you are a YouTuber and you get money from YouTube being in the partner program. You are getting money for advertisements, but then there may be advertisers who are offering you promotional content. So they will be mailing you. They will be asking you to do to promote their products on your channel. So they will communicate to you through their email, and they will, let's say you are getting an email saying that we have a brand, can you just promote this, we'll pay this much of money for promoting this. So it's a good offer, you will definitely accept it. So what they do is they will send you an email saying that we have this software where you can optimize YouTube, or let's say it's a good video editing software. And what happens is they will ask you to download it and try it. So now you are expecting a decent sum of money, and you will be downloading the software and installing it. What happens is when you install it, there will be a keylogger installed in your computer. It's a virus. So what this does is whatever you type in your PC will go to hackers database. So let's say you are logging on to YouTube, www.youtube.com, and then you will enter your username and then your password. The hackers get to know your password through this. So what they do is then they will enter your PC. if you have not activated two-factor authentication, there is a high probability of you getting hacked. And then what they do is they will transfer your channel to a different brand account. End of the day, you will lose access to your channel as well as your Gmail account. So in this scenario, people are helpless because I have come across a lot of people. When you don't have access to your email, then you can't contact YouTube. Let's say you are creating a new email and trying to contact YouTube. You don't have that option. You can only you don't have the live chat support. There are specific forms actually, but even when you go to those links, you can't open it because they say that since you are not in the YouTube partnership program, you can't access this form. So what I do is I go through these links and contact YouTube and prove them that I owe this person owns this account. So we have to give hell lot of details. The date you created the channel, the AdSense account, publisher ID, what are the last videos you have uploaded. We have to give a hell lot of details. So then after a lengthy process, they will give back the channel. But for your information, I have one channel. It is like 2.5 months now. Still, they are trying to recover it because you won't believe. People know this. The channel is Ready Pranks. It was a good channel in Sri Lanka. Had 20,000 subscribers. When they approached me, there have been 21,584 videos uploaded within a single day. Can you believe this? We think that this is not possible, but it is. There have been 21,500 plus videos uploaded to their channel by the hacker, which are like 1.5 hours long. I don't know. Even the YouTube doesn't know how it happened. Still, they are trying to recover it because they have to manually release all these claims. So what
I
you have to
think that,
do is
yeah.
you have to be aware of what's happening. Then only you can be prepared to attack hackers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that explanation gave an eye-opening point to all of us and to understand how much attention we have to put in maintaining our private profiles. And thank you so much, Sajeewa. My next question to you is,
Yes.
how does the Facebook news feed work? And because we actually don't see all the posts that our friends share. So how does it
Yeah.
work?
I actually went through one article from which is published by Facebook. There, I'll go through it to briefly explain it. What happens is when we post content to Facebook, they will use inventory. Inventory means, let's say, you are Sanuri, right? So Sanuri is
Yes.
posting content on Facebook. It is being liked by let's say 10 people, and then uh, Facebook will understand that these are the set of people who tend to like these posts. Then what they do is they will look for similar people uh, in your friend list who will be engaged with such posts. So what they're doing is they are actually tracking our behaviors. They are trying to push whatever that goes viral will go viral forever. Let's say your content is not engaging, then they will not reach the people. So it doesn't matter how many people are there in your friend list. It's about how engaging or how interesting your content is. When you post interesting contents, Facebook will push it to the people. So that is why we see that there are people who are not that popular, but they are getting good number of likes on Facebook. Let's say shares. They have a good reach, but there are some people they have 5,000 friends, but still they are not getting that reach. It's the algorithm of Facebook.
Okay, thank you so much. And my next question to you is, when it
Yes.
comes to monetization on YouTube, can we monetize music in Sri Lanka?
Okay, since I am into music and I manage a lot of artists on Facebook and YouTube as well. In YouTube, we are not allowed to monetize music contents. the reason for this is we don't have a collecting society in Sri Lanka. Now we are working on it. The musicians have formed a society to get this thing done through YouTube. So if you think that we are getting paid for Sri Lankan views from our songs, no, it's not right. But we are getting is from foreign views. So as I said, since we don't have a royalty collecting society, YouTube can't pay the money to me. Let's say my song, I'm uploading this song to YouTube and I'm getting good number of views. So if YouTube pays me money, then YouTube doesn't know who actually owns this. You know that there are so many songs in Sri Lanka which are not owned by the singer. Actually, as per the law, I don't own my songs. The right is with the lyricist and the composer. So one day, if the lyricist file a case against YouTube saying that you have paid this much of money to this artist who doesn't have the right to earn money from it, what happens? So YouTube is very careful. They are not paying money to music content when we say that this is a music content. For that, we are using content ID. I can't explain it without showing you the content ID. When we upload songs, we have the option to categorize content. Whether this is a music content, whether this is a audio visual content. So what we are doing is we are undertaking that this is not a music content, this is just a video. So then only YouTube pays us for the Sri Lankan views, but that is not what should happen. So we are working on it to get the YouTube partnership program plus the royalty collecting society in Sri Lanka.
Okay, thank you so much. And with that, dear viewers, it's your time to present your questions to Mr. Sajeewa, and he's like really willing to answer your questions and clear all your doubts. With that, I think I have the very first question from the audience. He's Malish Randunu Silva, and the question is, can you explain about the verification process of Facebook pages, accounts, and YouTube channel?
Let's since this is moving to YouTube, I'll first go with YouTube verification. For an artist, if you are an official artist, you can request for verification from YouTube. It doesn't matter how many subscribers you got. If you have uploaded your songs to YouTube music platform through a distributor, you can request them. Then they will go through a verification process. They will need 2 art tracks. Actually, you can go to YouTube and look for these terms. It takes a lot of time for me to explain these terms. So, if you have uploaded songs to YouTube music platform, then they will give you the music note. This is not the verification, the music note. Let's say you can go to YouTube and search for my name. A music note will appear in front of my name. That is not the verification. The verification, the tick, the gray tick will be given to you only upon passing 100,000 subscribers. So if you pass 100,000 subscribers, you are eligible to obtain it. But then again, they will review it, and if you meet the criteria, they will give it to you. When you talk about the Facebook verification, there are Facebook verified profiles and pages. The verification process is kind of similar, but as we all know, getting a verified profile is very hard. If I can go back to past, I got the verification in 2017, where only 3 people had it from Sri Lanka. So now there are around 20. They have simplified the process, but it's still very hard. But you have to think, but you have to understand is you can't just get the verification. If Facebook is offering verification for all the people, it doesn't matter whether you are popular or not. You should be notable. You should be popular in the Facebook as well as in other platforms. You just go to these verified personalities, you will see that they are eligible for the verification. If they are offering it to all the general people also, then the value of the verification will not be there. So if I go through the criteria, you have to be a notable person. You will be a person who people will always search for, and you have to have two-factor authentication turned on. If it is a page, all the admins should enable two-factor authentication, and you should have a good reach. There are some techniques where you have to when you have to apply for the verification. It doesn't matter whether you have 1 million reach, 1 million engagement if you don't have the notability. So let's say there are people on Instagram having 1 million followers. It doesn't matter. There are people with 4,000 followers getting the verification. It's all about how notable you are. You have to be a very authentic person. Facebook should feel that this guy should be verified to prevent him being imprisoned.
Thank you for that greatly expressed answer. So, since this discussion is
Actually,
initial,
this is
yeah.
the most favorite question I'm getting. I'm getting this question to my Facebook page like 20, 30 times per day. So if you still have any questions, you message me. I'll explain. So
Okay.
are there any questions?
Yeah, there is one last question actually.
Yes.
So the question is like, since this discussion is like initially about social media security and its best
Yeah.
practices. So what are the best social media practices that you would like to share with the audience? And yeah, what's your idea about that? What are the best social
Okay.
media practices?
Uh, I will first explain you something that even I didn't know until last month. Uh, people people believe that if you report somebody continuously, the profile will get disabled or the content will be removed. I had a chance to talk with the policy manager for Facebook in Sri Lanka and Malaysia. What he said is there's no such term called mass reporting. If you do something wrong on Facebook, uh, it doesn't matter whether 1,000 people are reporting you or just one person is reporting. If you have violated their terms, you will be reported. So, why are we getting reported? There are Facebook terms. You can't just post rubbish on Facebook. You have to be very polite when using social media. You can't post sexual content, hate speech. We actually know these things. So apart from that, we all know that we can't ask people to like, comment, or share. Facebook doesn't allow those things. If you can read these things. If you can go to Facebook Blueprint certification. If you want to know what is allowed on Facebook, how this Facebook system works, you can get a detailed knowledge on Facebook through these channels. So I have seen competitions running on Facebook. In these competitions, the pages will ask you all to tag people, ask 10, 10 of your friends to come and comment here. These things are not allowed. Let's say one thing is clickbait. You can't post a picture saying, see what's inside. It's a clickbait. The system will pick that this is a clickbait. You can't ask people to please do share, comment on this post. It's an engagement bait. So these things are not allowed. I think I have given something for you. Are there any questions?
Yeah, there are
And
so many
uh,
questions.
I get a lot of questions these days on trending. Shall I explain it a bit?
Yeah, sure. Go
So
on.
now, since there is one girl getting a lot of views on YouTube these days. People ask me, brother, why this channel doesn't get trending on YouTube? The reason is trending works with there is no criteria. Or, even the YouTube have not explained how trending works. But as you all know, the view count, the engagement ratio, the view retention, and the average view count. So average view count means if you are putting a content for 1 minute, if you are putting a content that is 1 minute long, and people are only watching 15 seconds of the video, then that is not engaging. The average view duration will drop, and YouTube will think that this content is not engaging, so then they will not push. But for this recent incident, it's not the scenario. YouTube says that how the video performs compared to other recent uploads from the channel. So they are depending on the history. You can see that there are channels which are on trending. Uh, let's say the one channel was on trending last week. Their new video is there's a high lightning of their new video also being on the trending list. But there are some channels they are getting millions of views, but since the previous video was not trending on YouTube, the new video will also not be on the trending list because the algorithm works on historical data, I think. This is not explained anywhere. That is why there is a habit of people who are on the trending list is always on the trending list. But there are some engaging contents, they are not coming into the trending list. So yeah, it works in that way.
Yeah, I think there are so many questions coming from the audience right now. Such an enthusiastic audience. So there is another question. So why do YouTube channels get banned? And when that happens, how to get them recovered?
YouTube channels get banned for violating their terms actually. I haven't seen channels getting banned without a reason like on Facebook. On Facebook, the AI get do mistakes sometimes. I have experienced it, but when it comes to YouTube, if you have violated their terms only, they will ban it. Let's say I came to the action after recovering Ratta's YouTube channel. Even Ratta has done something silly. So if you are following their terms and conditions on YouTube, you will not get banned.
Well, thank you so much for that answer. And I think we have a question from Sandalu Karuna Sen. So, is there an easy way to claim copyright on music covers?
Sorry?
Is there an easy way to claim copyright on music covers?
That is why actually we have formed organization now. We are working on getting music covers copyrighted, but YouTube allows cover artists to earn money from YouTube. But end of the day, the owner should allow them to share their revenue. As you all know, when it comes to copyrights, there are two types of assets. Audio visual content, that is the video getting claimed on YouTube, and the audio. Let's say somebody is uploading my song on YouTube with one of their videos, but still the video will be claimed by me for my music content, so he won't be able to earn money from it. Let's say somebody is using another original music with my video. Again, I'm claiming this is how content ID works. I'm claiming the video, so he won't be able to earn money from it. But for covers, we can allow people to share our money. But in Sri Lanka, it's very hard for us to do this because we don't have that royalty collecting society. We can claim the music composition as well. Let's say you are doing a cover, it will not be tracked, or it will be not automatically claimed by the YouTube because YouTube your audio is different from what I have originally uploaded to YouTube. But still, if the melody is mine, let's say my song, I can claim it through music composition right. But for Sri Lankans, it's very hard. We have to do it through a partner, most probably somebody who is in a royalty collecting society. So I'm doing it through one of my friends in USA. Basically, in Sri Lanka, it's not very possible.
Yeah, thank you. So, since UConn is an international conference, we are getting so much of questions from my international delegates as well. So, this question is, I think, from an Indian delegate. So, the question is, how do we make out which emails coming for collaborations are authentic and which ones are fake? So, simply how to filter out fake emails and the emails which are authentic.
What I follow is, since I manage a lot of brands, they actually forward me these emails, so I know when you go through the email, let's say the company name is ABC. You can check whether this ABC company is actually existing. You can go to Facebook, or you can go to the Google and search for this company, because if they are offering you promotional content to a channel, that means they are into a huge marketing campaign. So basically, they should have a website or at least a Facebook page. If you go to the Facebook page, you can see that are they having a corporate email or not. So if you are getting, let's say on the Facebook page, their email is info@abc.com, but you are getting the promotional email from somebody else. It can be fake, and normally if you can go through the email, the way they ask us to download, they are begging us to try this. So you have to be very smart. There's no specific way of identifying this spam. You have to be smart.
Okay, so the next question is also from international delegate. He says, I am new to YouTube. So, how many subscribers and watch hours are needed to open monetization settings? And what do we need to complete the process?
Okay, you will need to have 1,000+ subscribers and 1,000 watch hours. 1,000 watch hours on YouTube plus 1,000 subscribers will enable you to apply for the YouTube partnership program. But you have to comply with the terms and conditions. Let's say you have earned these subscribers from posting contents that are sexual. You can't be in the partner program.
Okay, so to make discussion a bit less more technical, I'm going to ask you a question like this. So, since you are not only an expert in accounting and finance, but also a social media strategist, a well-known singer, how do you balance out these roles perfectly?
Actually, how I became a social media strategist is I wanted to be a singer a few years back. But when I came to the industry, I felt that you don't have support in the digital media. So I wanted to make a reach on Facebook or YouTube or whatever the channel. So then I learned everything. So now, after learning everything, only I came to YouTube. If you can remember, when I was releasing my songs, the traditional way of uploading songs in Sri Lanka is to hand it over to some popular TV channels. But I wanted to have my own channel. I took a risk. I knew that I could have get more risk if I uploaded these songs to their big channels. But I started my own way of doing that. Now I'm like, when it comes to managing everything, from 8:30 to 5:15, I'm in my office, which is bank. But when I'm home, I go through my website, the social media consultancy website. I have built a team of specialists. They are attending the basic inquiries. Whatever they can't solve, they will redirect to me. And yeah, anyway, I'm having time, but now I feel like I should go for the exit strategy, because I'm spending more time in the bank for a less pay. So my office is under construction. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay, so I think the next question is from an active user on Instagram. So, as a social media strategist, what are your quick strategy tips to gain more followers on Instagram?
On Instagram,
Yeah.
actually, this is something I always say. I have done something on YouTube. I have done something on in Facebook, but I'm not that active on Instagram. But I manage Instagram pages. What I figured out is you have to use hashtags. This is the number one theory. And when you post content, it should be eye catching, because on Facebook we have a lot of options. People can share it, people can comment, like, do whatever they want. But on Instagram, they can't share it. They can share it to their stories. But still, if you are not putting engaging content, uh, the followers will not engage. So, if let's say you are a model, you use related tags. Don't just put unrelated tags which are going viral. You have to be in the niche. You have to focus on who you are. If you are a travel logger, you have to put tags related to travel. Uh, Not that. Don't just go for like to like, comment to comment. These are silly things you are doing on Instagram. Just focus on your brand, then you will get followers.
Thank you.
And
And
now use since now Instagram is promoting IGTV. Go for this IGTV, because they want people to be on Instagram to watch longer videos. They have noticed that people are on YouTube, Facebook, but not on Instagram, because they can't upload videos that are longer than 1 minute. So now they have rolled out IGTV. They are promoting it. I have noticed that if you upload IGTV videos, there is a probability of these videos reach more followers than the normal organic crowd. Use it.
okay, thank you. And once again, I want to do a quick reminder for our dear viewers to present your questions, because Mr. Sajeev will be there with us till 1 p.m. So just send your questions and he will answer enthusiastically. So there is another question from Gayan Karuna Ratna. These days, can anybody report for someone else's content even if it does not belong to them? Even the question is not clear. Yeah.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah. So these days, can anybody report for someone else's content even if it does not belong to
Yes.
them?
I get it. I get it. The Facebook. It is actually about Facebook, I guess. Facebook can be fooled. I have done that for test purposes. Let's say you are a YouTuber. Uh, no, let's say you run a page. You upload a YouTuber's video on Facebook. Actually, the content owner might not report the content, but when you go to the reporting form, uh, you can report it acting as the authorized representative of the content owner. So now people are using this to revenge from people. Let's say you have uploaded Vasti's video. Anushka is not concerned about reporting it. Now I want to report it. I will go. I will mention that this content is owned by me. I am Anushka Dana. This is my phone number. This is my address. This is my email. Then what we are doing is, since the original uploader has uploaded it prior to you, we can say that, see, I have uploaded it on YouTube on this day. This person has reposted it on Facebook, so take it down. The reviewer doesn't know that this is actually somebody else, so then they will report it. Let's say they report 3 videos, your page will get a strike, your distribution will be limited, yes, we can fool Facebook.
Okay,
Even
so
even
seems
YouTube, I have come across situations. Team One Learning from Sri Lanka, they got a fake copyright claim. Their channel was terminated, but luckily we wrote to Facebook, YouTube, saying that this is a fake claim. But there are people who don't have access to these tools, or some people they don't have proper knowledge or writing skills to prove that they actually own this content. So it's like going for court. You have to have a good lawyer to win the case.
okay. Thank you so much for that detailed explanation. And we have another question from Sandalu. Yeah. There are people claiming subs and views for money. Post videos for money. Also, there is an option to promote video on YouTube. What is your idea about this?
Uh, Claiming there are people claiming something. Yes, I actually know there are some friends of mine who are doing this, which is totally illegal. I have already told them. What they do is they have formed groups, or else they have joined these groups. Uh, when you want to promote a video, then they will post these videos to the link. Post this video to the group. So this set of people, they will watch the video, they will like, they will comment, they will share. Actually, it could be organic for YouTube, but still, it's like it works like a bot. So I don't recommend it. You all know that now there are softwares. I recently tried it. There is this software. You can make thousands of YouTube accounts and give them this access. It's a software. Uh, let's say I'm creating 10 YouTube accounts, and I give the access information to the software. When I want to promote a video, what I do is I just have to enter the link of that video to the software. The software will have the option for us to put comments also. So what they do is, let's say we assign 10 people to 10 comments. Then once the video is uploaded, the software will automatically go to YouTube and post these contents. One Sri Lankan company is doing this. They have uploaded a video. Let's say the director's name is Sajeewa. So they have promoted this video through the software in a fake manner during the last month. Now they are uploading a new video. They have forgotten to remove the previous comment. The software is working automatically. In the new video also, let's say the director is Sanuri. There are comments saying, Sajeev, good job. Sajeev, you are the best director. So they have fooled the YouTube as well. One day it will be tracked by the YouTube, and they will ban it for sure. If you are using these techniques, you're actually not going to be a good YouTuber.
Yeah, I think Sandalu must have surely received an interesting answer for that question. Okay, we have another question from the audience. Wow. Reputation damage is common security threat we see today. So how do we confront a reputation damage, and what are the measures that we can take?
Actually, reputation damage in which way? Let's say somebody is damaging your name, insulting you on Facebook or YouTube. You can report it. There are several forms. There are privacy reporting tools. You can go to these forms and explain what exactly has happened. Let's say one incident. Now, revenge porn is happening in Sri Lanka. 2 months back, I came across a situation where one girl was helpless. Her photos were going viral on Facebook, and she had no way of reporting those. Actually, even I go and search for any form looking for these tools. I didn't get that. But later, through one of my friend only, I got to know that there is a form. it doesn't appear when we search for it. But when I click on the form, it opens and we reported it. They are reviewed immediately. So if something happens, better to report it properly. Yes, there could be some delays, especially during the corona period. The review was taking 10 to 20 days, but still there are tools.
Okay, thank
In,
you.
in,
And
in, in the digital platforms, we can't expect everything to be perfect. There can be some mistakes as well.
so, Sajeeva, since we all know that you are a talented singer, so why not make an opportunity to sing a small part of a song for the everyone who is watching you today and your fans and the audience? A small part of the song.
Okay. I don't like singing without the music. It sounds crazy, but I'll do. I'll do. Okay. මට ලැබුණු හැම දේට වැඩියෙන් සදා වටිනාම දේවූ ඔයා පෙර පිනට මුණ ගැහුණු බව තේරුණා දුටු මුල් දිනේදී පවා ඉක්මන් වෙලා අනන්තෙන් මෙහා පියාඹන්නේ නෑමා වසන්තය දමා. Okay.
Wow, what a beautiful voice, and I think everyone is sending virtual claps to you. Wow, thank you so much. Okay, then shall we move on to the next question? Okay, the next question is, what are your 3 best social media security strategies for audience? Like, can you advise them? What are the 3 best social media security strategies?
Okay.
As per your
first, okay. When it comes to passwords, don't use the same password in all the platforms. I come across a lot of situations where girls are doing this, not the boys. Let's say Sanuri, your Facebook password is Sanuri123 and your Gmail password is Sanuri1994. Don't let people guess these passwords. So being somebody who has done this hacking thing, I actually, if I want to go hack a profile, I will definitely try with birth year 123 123 456. So make complex passwords that are not easy to guess. The first thing, and then now all these platforms have two-factor authentication feature. Use two-factor. Then even if somebody have access to your password, they won't be able to log in to it without your device. So after that, if you are still not secure, better you go to recovery calls. On Facebook also there are recovery calls. Use trusted friends on YouTube and Google accounts. You can on Facebook as well. There is a USB kind of device. This is the next level of two-factor, universal two-factor authentication device, I guess. U2F, yes. Use U2F. I know these things sound great to some people, but if you can go to settings on Facebook under two-factor authentication, turn on everything. So no one will be able to log into it, and use a good virus card. Even though you have turned on all these things, yesterday in AIESEC also, Dinuka had a session with you guys. Dinuka's account was hacked even when he was having two-factor authentication. So there's a risk. Basically, what you have to do is you have to have a good virus guard, maybe 800 or 1,000 rupees per month, but it is worth.
Okay, and I feel like the clock is ticking so fast today, and that we have come to the end of another meaningful and a very interesting session. So thank you so much, Sajeewa, for giving us your time. and for educating all our viewers on social media security, YouTubing, Facebook, social media, and everything. And I think this is absolutely a noteworthy discussion. So, what are the last few words you have to say to your fans and our audience?
Okay, what I have to tell is since this is more into YouTube, I have told this in the beginning. Uh, you in Sri Lanka as well as around the world, people have a thought that you can just earn from YouTube, or if you are earning from Facebook, it's not about earning money. You try to be a YouTuber or somebody who is good at content creating on Facebook, then eventually the money will come to you. Uh, I know in Sri Lanka, since I'm in Sri Lanka, our YouTubers, my friends, I'm working with them. They have full people saying thank you YouTube, but I guarantee you, these people have not earned these cars or properties through YouTube. What they have done is they have built a brand and they have sponsors around. Then only they are now established. So you can't just come to YouTube and earn money. Try to focus on what you are doing. Be specific. Create good content which are engaging. Then money will come to you definitely.
Once again, thank you so much, Sajeeva, for all those great advices. And I wish you all the very best and good luck for all your future endeavors. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right. So before we wrap up the things, I want to take this moment to thank the event partners of YouCon 2.0 for their immense support to make this event a reality. I would like to thank Educo Pathway, Pearl of Oceanfront, Shop Here, Ozone Desk, Cloud Accounting, Nakshastra Wedding for their remarkable contribution. Marking the end of my time with you today, I would like to give you all a quick reminder about the final session of YouCon webinar series, which is scheduled to happen at 4 p.m. today, highlighting two great personalities, Ms. Hirushi Jaisena and Navran. And the topic will be how to promote your YouTube channel. So stay tuned and don't miss out the opportunity to witness a discussion worth watching. And thank you everyone for being such a wonderful audience. And let me finish by saying, diamonds are nothing more than chunks of coal that stuck to their jobs. Success doesn't come overnight. There are no shortcuts, and you get what you work for and not what you wish for. So keep on working hard and always have a purpose in what you do in life. Have a great day and see you all at 4 p.m. Thank you very much.
Are you planning to study abroad but not sure what to do and where to go? Our qualified counselors at Educo Pathways will help you select the right program in the right country. We have partnered with world-class universities in Australia, Malaysia, Canada, Ireland, United Kingdom, USA, New Zealand, and Netherlands. We will also advise you with all the necessary documents you need and help you with your visa application. Remember, all our services are free of charge. Call us now to book an appointment on 0772 711 711.